Hey YouTube, this is Magician34, and I got a deck I kind of been playing around with. I wanted to show you. It's a zombie deck, so we'll go ahead and show you. It runs 2 Zombie Masters. Also runs Plague Spreader Zombie, of course. 1 copy of Pain Painter, because he's another zombie tuner, and that's important. 1 copy of Meizuki. 2 copies of Pyramid Turtle, because he's just awesome. Also running 2 copies of Goblin Zombie, the zombie Sangan of sorts. Ill Blood, because this guy's great to go get with, say, Pyramid Turtle or something, and then normal summon him during your turn. Go off, make synchros and stuff. Endless Decay, because this guy's an amazing 4,000 point beat stick with some frightening regularity. Spirit Reaper, just because he's a good target when you need defense, and he can also be a surprise when he's set, and he allows you to Xyz for some cool stuff. Interesting factor to this deck is we run 3 copies of Deep Sea Diva. She can do all kinds of cool things, anything from making Gachi Gachi to 5 stars and making easy Trishulas and whatnot. She's really good for zombies, basically. Lost Blue Breaker is your 3-star target with Diva, just because he's pretty much the optimal one. Can't get bottomless and whatnot. We're also running Glow Up Bulb. Milling a zombie is kind of nice, but it's more over just getting the tuner back from your grave. It's all about making synchros in this deck. We're running 3 copies of Reborn Tengu. He can help you do quite a few things, but basically, once again, this is just for your syncing. I think we all know enough about Tengu right now. I don't need to talk about it, at length. Sangan. Gores. That's the monster lineup. Heavy Storm, of course, because we want to make sure we actually go off successfully. 2 copies of Mystical Space Typhoon. More back row hate. 2 copies of Pot of Duality, best played early in the game. Be careful how you play it and what you set out with it, of course, because it blocks your special summons. Pot of Avarice. And an interesting card I was trying out in this deck is One Day of Peace. Both players draw a card, and then nobody can deal any more damage to anybody until the end of your opponent's next turn. But it doesn't have any specifications about when you can activate it. So basically, this is for when you try to make a big push, it fails, or you try to make a medium-sized push, but basically your field ends. This lets you restock a card. You don't care too much about what your opponent gets because they can't damage you. On your next turn, you'll have a little more oomph to kind of push through. It's basically Threatening Roar and an Upstart Goblin all in one. So it's worth trying out. It's a neat idea for this deck. Remember, you can do it during main phase 2, so you effectively don't have any drawback to it in terms of inability to deal damage. We're also running Monster Reborn, of course. We're running 2 copies of Book of Life, because it's Zombie Monster Reborn plus DD Crow. Mind Control, because we got plenty of tuners and ways to use it. 3 copies of Creature Swap. If you just look through the monster lineup of this deck, there are so many monsters that you want to donate with Creature Swap, it's not even funny. Diva can get you through this. Obviously, Pyramid Turtle, Goblin Zombie, Sangan. I mean, it's a pretty long list, actually, things that you want to donate with Creature Swap. Dark Hole. 2 copies of Compulsory Evacuation Device. And lastly, 2 copies of Karma Cut. It's excellent removal that very few cards can actually block, and it pulls a lot of stuff out of the grave, so it's problematic for Agents, Dark Worlds, etc. Our extra deck includes Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, your 9-star target of choice. Stardust Dragon, Scrap Dragon, Dark End Dragon. We're running him over Colossal Fighter. There are a variety of reasons for this, but the send to the graveyard effect is quite important, especially with Zenmain running around. Black Rose Dragon, Bryanak, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, Gaia Knight, Force of Earth, Flambeau Urquizus. This guy made it. You can easily run 2 Gaia Knights, but basically we wanted at least 3 good 6-star targets. I picked this guy because he can be useful if your opponent's hunkered into defense mode, or if they're using tokens or running plants or something like that. This guy can be quite useful, actually. He also forces your opponent to answer him quickly. We're running TG Hyper Librarian, Magical Android, Ally of Justice Cataster, number 39 Utopia, Wind Up Zenmain, Lavier the Sea Dragon. He can be quite useful with stuff like Meizuki. And Gachi Gachi Gentetsu. Okay, and there it is. Yet another variant of the ever-useful zombies. And until next time, rate, comment, subscribe, and check out my channel for more cool videos.